This is just a really funny son of a bitch. Please welcome Mike Hughes to the stage, your final comic.
I'm a funny son of a bitch. Alright, first of all, you guys remember to turn your clocks back tonight because it's that time of year. And holy shit, where did the year go? I took one vacation this summer. Cleveland, Ohio. Anybody here from... There you go. What's your name, sir? Mike? Seriously? Mike. Yeah, Cleveland. We're from a shithole of a city. All right, and don't take my word for it. The airlines proves it. You can fly to Cleveland on like a hot weekend for $19 on Spirit Airlines. But to get the hell out, it's $379. The departure, you guys remember the fall of Saigon, like helicopters going off overhead and soldiers tackling people to get the hell out of Vietnam? That's the departure terminal of the Cleveland airport. There was a security guard, I think he tackled this old man, and there was a woman, she tried to hand me her baby, and she's like, take fam with you back to Los Angeles, make us proud, fam. My teacher, Tom, said, hey Mike, try that with an Asian accent. So I did in Irvine. Yeah. Learned that Tom is not my friend. I'm trying to be more politically correct. I despise jokes with the N-word, and by the N-word I'm talking about nose jokes, okay? First time I heard a nose joke, I was in the 3rd grade, and it was from my best friend's older brother, Matt Altieri. And Matt Altieri, he had this long hair. He looked like John Travolta. You know, the young, good-looking, not the fat, bald John Travolta. And he looks at me and he goes, Mike, if you had a nose full of nickels, you'd be a millionaire. I was 9 years old. If I could go back in time, I'd say, Matt Altieri, you're full of shit. I can only get 55 cents in my nose. I tried this morning. And next year I can get 60 cents because there's 2 parts of your body that keep growing as you get older. You know, one is your nose and what's the other one? Ears? Shit, I was hoping it was something else. So I'm back in Cleveland, I'm there for a wedding, and my one job is fireworks. And you can buy like industrial quality fireworks in Cleveland. So I bought these, and they were like an Iraqi grenade launcher when they went off. And I knew they were going to be good because the guy that sold it to me, he had like 3 good fingers on each hand. And they were good. And they asked me to leave, you know, Ohio. I'm not the only one who's left Ohio recently. You guys here, you know what basketball player recently? LeBron James left Cleveland. Which means Cleveland is going to suck for another 50 years in sports. Because when I grew up, seriously, we didn't have any championship in any sport. And so, like, you had Magic Johnson here in LA. In New York, you had Reggie Jackson. In Cleveland, we had this, and some of you guys, I know you have heard of this guy, Joe Charbonneau, Rookie of the Year in baseball. He could drink beer through straw in his nose. That's why Cleveland loved him, because he could, he actually, this is a true story too, he could open a beer bottle with his eye socket. My mom liked that one. And I grew up in this little town on Lake Erie, and Lake Erie was disgusting. It was the most polluted lake in the country. And it was like you come out of the water from swimming and there'd be a cheeseburger wrapper stuck on your back. And my mom's like, why are you coming out? And Mom, and she's like, you know, toughen up. It's going to make you stronger. It was so polluted, it caught on fire. Cuyahoga River, you'll Google it. Caught on fire, and I'm coming out of the water, and my mom's like, you know, why are you coming out of the water now? And I'm like, Mom, the lake's on fire. But she was smart, and she said, you know, dear, the fire, it's killing off the pollution. And then she opened a beer bottle with her eye socket and gave it to my dad. I got 3 kids. Thank you, San Clemente. To beg for that round of applause. I got an older child, a middle child, and a younger. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. I got three. So, anybody here middle children? There we go. Yeah. Your guys' brains don't work normal. No. And I saw this early on with my middle child. He's like 7 years old. We're riding in the car, and some kid is sitting next to him is bragging about this rock tourist trinket he brought back from the Sea of Galilee. And he's like, what if Jesus had walked on this rock? And my son's like, my son just said, that really wouldn't impress me. But if Jesus had peed on that rock, that's my boy. He's a very cautious kid. He didn't get his driver's license until he was like 18, and he's a very safe driver, and he's never been in an accident, but a lot of people behind him have. Told me recently told me he's going to Bible college, and I'm like, sweet, because it's going to save me so much money, because you only got to buy one book, right? That's not true. No. I've been married 29 years. Thank you. And to the same woman, consecutive. Just one. It's a long time. The other day, my wife looked at me and she said, "Are you even listening to me?" And I thought, that's a weird way to start a conversation. My daughter. I mentioned she's the youngest child, and the personality profiles are spot on, because youngest children, it's like creativity and fearlessness. There you go. There's a younger child, and my daughter. I found this out one day when I played beer league hockey, and I was taking a nap before a game, and my daughter was about 5, and she's got a magic marker, and she had just watched Harold and the Purple Crayon. So yeah. So I show up, I wake up, I rush out the door, my wife smiles at me, and I get in the locker room, and I'm like, Stevie, Paulie, Timmy, and because in beer league, everyone's got a Y on in their name. And my buddy Paulie looks at me and he goes, Mike? And I knew it was serious because he didn't call me Mikey. And he goes, Mike, is that a freaking mustache on your face? What I did know was my daughter had taken a dry eraser and given me a nice curly-Q mustache on my face. And a dry eraser does not dry erase off your face. So I played the most embarrassing hockey game of my life. And I'm old, so I played dirty, and I cheap-shotted this one guy. And then he was a Canadian guy, and the guy called me a bag of milk. And I didn't know. I guess in Canada they sell their milk in bags. I mean, I thought it was funny. I'm like, is he calling me a boob or something? My buddy Andrew, he didn't think it was that funny. He ends up getting in a fight with him, and like Andrew should be serving 18 months at Orange County Correctional, but it's hockey, so he served 5 minutes and got out. But yeah, my daughter's now, she's 18. She's dating this guy and another 18-year-old kid. So I come home, they're out, in the driveway vaping. And that's not so bad. But it's when the kid comes in the house and he doesn't call me Mr. Hughes. He'll say something like, "Hey, Mike." And what got me was the other day, he goes, "We're out of Corona Lights, Mike." I can't murder him. I thought about it. My daughter would forgive me, I think, over time. But my constant reminder is, and you guys, I know some of you guys are my age, every year we get the physical, and we're at that age now where we get the prostate check. That alone is enough evidence to me that I would not survive in prison. So, All right, that was my one attempt at an anal sex joke. So, but I like to say my wife is also from Cleveland, Ohio. I like to call her Rescue. And she was dating a guy in Cleveland. His name was Bruce Cobbledick. Seriously, that's his real name. He ran for political office. I don't know how Bruce didn't go far. And I tell my daughter's name's Nikki. I says, Nikki, you just better start being nice to me, because if it wasn't for me, your name would be Nick Cobbledick. All right, guys, let's give it up for Tom.
Mr. Mike Hughes.